Hey guys, welcome back to the Automotive Stable. I'm here with another video today. Now today we're going to go take out a drive in the Mini Cooper. I've already done a video on it. I'll put the link here, you can go check it out. We're going to be doing a POV, a point of view drive. This is my wife's Mini. I just want to give you an overview of how this car drives, you know, in the city and also on main roads. I'm going to take you onto the A3. Private number plate, Y555 GRL, yes girl, Mini Cooper, finished in a lovely off-white, beige white kind of color. You know, I just kept it standard. It's got a little bit of chrome, but like I've said in my video, the chrome fits the Mini very nicely. So this is the car, Mini Cooper. Let's take you out for a drive. Belt it up. You know, I've already talked about it in the video. You know, this car is amazing to drive. It reminds me a lot of my BMW E92 I had. You know, obviously considering BMW has obviously bought out Mini back in the 2000s, and they have been manufacturing Minis cars, or been at least involved in the manufacturing of Minis since then. Like I said, the ride is not too soft, but at the same time it's not too stiff. It's, you know, mildly stiff, and it's the perfect suspension setup for a car like this. The inside, you know, simple but not too simple, not like a Tesla when, you know, when you get inside the car, the only thing that you're greeted with is, you know, one center console, iPad, and that's it. But it's really nice and classy in here. Where it looks, it's a smaller car, hence the name Mini, but you can see how spacious it is. You know, you got a lot of visibility and everything, so it's great. It has got sports mode, and it's also got DSC off mode, so you can turn off the traction. You know, not gonna try that, but it does have that option if you're wondering. I love the speedometer, you know, that big speedometer right there in the middle. You don't really need to look at that because you obviously get your digital speed right here in front of you, and you know, you got your rev meter here if you do need to look at that. You're looking at that more if you have a John Cooper S, but yeah. I normally drive my, you know, I normally like to drive, my go-to driving hand position is this. My hand's normally here. You know, I started off driving like this, you know, when I was new at driving, and the reason I started doing that is because, you know, it looked cool. And now we'll head onto the A3 instead, and now I've started doing it because that's what you know, I'm most comfortable in. That's that. If you turn on the lights, it has orange lighting inside, but a dark, you know, darker orange, more so a little red, and it looks really nice inside, especially nighttime. It's got little lights here. You can see purple here on the sides, and you know, inside the door handles, you can I think choose a couple of colors there as well, so it's quite nice. I love the steering. Like I said, the 3-spoke steering. It's a very sporty steering and feel that you get, you know, when you're driving on roads. So it's amazing. Potholes everywhere. Just can't park around here. Don't want to be stuck in the traffic, you know, behind the traffic lights. There's people looking at me, why has he got that thing on his head? But you know what? That's what it is, mate. Woo, the sun. Weather's changing, eh? So one thing that I spoke about in my other video, I keep referring you to that video. Do go check it out, because I've talked about this car in more depth. This is just a point of view driving video, but the way the pedal shifters work here in the Mini is quite strange compared to most of the other cars, especially me coming from a Mercedes, where you pull the right pedal shifter to go up a gear and then you pull the left pedal shifter to go down a gear, and it's mostly like that in most of the cars. That's the norm. But in Mini, the way it works, you can go up and down a gear from either of the sides. So for example, here I can pull it and it will go up a gear, and then I can press it and it'll go down a gear, and then I can do the exact same thing here on the left. I don't know why Mini has done that. Like I said, there's a lot of unique things here in the Mini, and maybe that's that adds to that persona of the car. But I guess if you're daily driving a Mini, it's not going to take you very long to get used to this, and regardless of the fact you have an automatic, you're not really going to be using this that often anyway when you drive into work or commuting or wherever it might be. It's just a occasional thing that you might be using it, and if that is your main car, you'll most probably be used to it. The seating position in the Mini is quite nice. I like the way you sit. You can pull the seat quite low to the ground, and you have that, you have great vision, like I said, all around, but at the same time you have that sporty, stealthy feel with the steering being in front of you, and you being able to look out nice and clear out of the front windshield. What time is it? Yup, it's nearly 5, so we are gonna be getting into a bit of rush hour, I believe, but I'm just heading down there, gonna jump on the A3 going towards Chessington, and then now one thing with me is, because I'm normally a manual kind of guy, I like the manual gearboxes. Most of my cars have been manual, but recently my Mercedes that I bought is an automatic. This Mini is an automatic. Now normally when I stop in traffic, I like to put the gear in neutral. I know that's what you do when you have manuals. I'm not 100% sure if I know with the new technology and everything, these car manufacturers, they know people most probably will be keeping their gears in drive, and they must have sorted out some kind of mechanism to make sure it doesn't affect the gearbox as much. But I do like to put the car in neutral when I'm stopping in traffic. So yes, rush hour traffic on a Monday, like I said. It's okay. A3 down there, so we're just gonna jump on that. Yes, mate, let me in. Alright then. The thing I was pretty surprised with Minis was the kind of performance they have. Now obviously this is not a John Cooper S, but we do know that Minis, the engines and stuff, obviously with, again, like I said, BMW involvement, are putting out great power and great performance. But I haven't really driven a Mini pre-2000, so I can't really sit here and compare how much change BMW has brought into the Mini Cooper world. But I'm pretty sure from what I've heard from people, reviews and stuff, BMW has obviously enhanced the characteristics of Mini and just how it feels to drive this car overall. Okay, so now we're on the A3. The car picks up very quickly, that's what I'm saying. You can put into Tiptronic and you can manually change the gears, but the car does pick up pretty great. So we're on the A3 now. Actually lovely weather, it reminds me a bit of Dubai for some reason. Obviously not the surroundings, but I'm just talking about the weather when you're just sitting inside the car. D Jeff, I like that number plate, mate. So right, like I said, if you're sitting at 50 right now, very comfortably, right now I'm driving at 50, very comfortable, know, cruising along, you can put your foot down and the car will, you know, respond to that. So it's great in that sense as well. Funnily enough, this road, the A3, I've actually driven on with all of my cars I've owned since I've started driving, I believe. So look, I'm sitting very, I like the way the, you know, the door sills are quite high. You can very comfortably put your arm here and you can grab onto the wheel, driving, cruising, you know, and just very comfortable inside. We need to take the next left. Get off in Chesington, so let's just come in now. Traffic, you know what, let's just come behind here because we need to go left. Oh, nice full series. Nicely done, mate. He's taking a photo of his car. Maybe he's putting it up for sale. Maybe just admiring his, you know, hard work and pride. So this is rush hour. There's also roadworks down there. They had some kind of flooding, I think, recently. So I think there's a delay because of that. You know, another thing I'll show you guys whilst we're in traffic, always open up. But anyway, the way the buttons have been laid out inside the Mini is just super cool. They look like little fighter jet buttons you get in, like, you know, military planes and stuff like that. So for example, the front light, you just push it in like this. You know, it's got a metal feel to it. And you know, this is for the lights. You can control the light switches here, but the same with, you know, the door locks and the window switches, everything down here, you know, and up there. The way the buttons have been laid out is just, you know, pretty amazing. It's the uniqueness that, you know, Mini has, you know, which is why I've said in my video as well that Mini has a league of its own. There's so many other manufacturers out there, you know, who are putting out, you know, the best, you know, hatchbacks out there. But Mini doesn't really need to compete with them because one, Mini has its own market, and the people who are buying Minis, they will most probably come back for another Mini. And that's just like, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. You see, even that Porsche, right? It has that generic shape, that design, but because it's full of elegance, they've been able to carry that on for so many years. You know, another Mini here, you can just tell when you look at cars such as the, you know, the Volkswagen Beetle, you look at Porsches, you look at Minis, you know it's the same car. Even people who don't know anything about cars, they'll be able to tell straight away it's the same car, you know. But obviously, you know, over the time it's evolved a little bit. I mean, if that's the thing maybe Mini have been lucky with, or they've actually put time and effort into it. And you know, the shape that they came up with, the whole design just being a timeless design, you know. There's not many cars out there who are able to accomplish that kind of timeless build and be able to just, you know, do little improvements every year, you know, and then so on and so forth, and just, you know, people still admiring and loving the cars that they make, and Mini is definitely one of them. This car is also great for city driving, you know, if you're doing little runarounds and even driving, you know, if you see in the movie Italian Job, you know what I'm talking about. You know, this car is capable of a lot of things. You know, how many cars can you think of that, you know, carry the national flag or carry the national, you know, symbolism? This Mini is one of them. You know, it's, like I said, you can spec this with a Union Jack on the rooftop. You can, the newer Minis come with a Union Jack in their rear tail lights, so it's really an iconic, symbolic car. And you know, but it's a car that's not just, you know, appreciated in the UK, but it's actually appreciated all over the world. So good on that. And since I bought the Mini, you know, for my wife, I actually got this for my wife on her birthday, and since I've had the Mini, you know, I've really enjoyed driving it whenever I do so, because mainly it's my wife using it on a daily basis. I have my Mercedes and Audi, but it's actually a very, very amazing car, and it feels great to drive. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little, you know, point of view drive that I did with the Mini. Do like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back next week with another video. Until then, logging out. Bye bye.